Oh my god, bro. I swear nobody's ever done this before, bro. This is a new secret, bro. This is a new secret, bro. I'm about to just cook something up and I'll show you all the shortcuts along the way. Anything that I do, I'll explain it. So this is gonna be a little slower, like beginner tutorial. But if you don't know these shortcuts, even if you are advanced, you might actually learn some new sauce in this video. Yeah, I'm gonna go and get into the tutorial real quick. Up in the top left corner right here, y'all see the BPM, right? Boom. If y'all ever need to automate the BPM, right click it and look for the create automation clip. You're gonna have to create an automation clip when you right click it. It's crazy that this is the first thing that I talk about, but if you want the tempo to change throughout the song, look at the top. Boom. As I drag this is going down. Boom. So it goes down to 60 from 140, and then you're gonna just start laying down notes, right? So if we're gonna do a minor scale, boom, you got the 2 space, 3 space, 2 space, 3 space. Boom. That's a minor scale. Look, I'll drag in a MIDI for example here. So say you're using a MIDI, there's a lot of notes, so it might look a little bit complicated. I'm gonna give y'all 5 seconds to figure out what scale this is in. All right, this scale is F major, bruh, and you want to know why. The bottom note right here is F, and you got 3 spaces, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 2 spaces, and if we remember, 3 2 3 is a major progression. So boom, boom. So that's what that sounds like. So I'm about to show y'all any shortcuts that I would use when I'm arranging. So what I'm gonna do actually is control left click, and I'm gonna select the second half, and I'm gonna control C to copy it, and then I'm gonna delete. I press the delete button. But now that we have that copied, I'm gonna paste it over to here. So now I split that MIDI up into 2. I want this to be a full 8-bar loop. I'm gonna do control B to copy it over, right? So if I need to copy this over, I'm gonna do control B. Another way to copy it over is control left click and drag to select everything, right? Or you could do control A. So yeah, just shift left click after you have the whole thing selected, and you can drag it over. Boom. Let's just get it down to the basic chords. I'm gonna delete the melodies. Let's come into here. If you want these notes to have a more realistic effect, how to make your piano sound more realistic or your chord progression sound a little bit more realistic, what you're gonna do is control A to select it all, right? You're gonna hold Alt and you're gonna click S. That will allow you to strum the notes so it's being played like it's fingers, because you know when you're actually playing the piano, you're not hitting everything at the exact same time all the time, you know? Every now and then maybe you get lucky, boom, you're playing all the notes at once. But if you wanted to sound like human fingers, bruh, if you wanted to have that real touch, Alt S, and you can make it strum up or down depending on what type of vibe you're trying to go for. So let's say I want these notes to strum up, boom, you just do this. All right, now if we want a different type of strum on one note and a different type of strum on the other, what you're gonna do is control left click and select whichever notes that you want, right? So boom, let's just strum this one this way. So now we have this. Say we want this one to be opposite, bro. Now Alt S, and we can go and strum this the opposite way. Let's say we have it strummed, right? Now, if we wanted to sound even more realistic, what we can do is Alt R, and that will randomize the velocities, right? You can randomize velocities, panning. Panning is which ears it's in. So if it'll go left ear, right ear. And then velocities is just how loud the notes are played at, how aggressively they're played, you know? So like if you aggressively tap the keyboard, then it's gonna be a higher velocity. So that's what this knob does. So if you want it to be all lower, you want all the notes to be lower velocity, turn bipolar off and then drag it down. But if you want it to be higher velocities, drag it up. You can mess with the velocity on bipolar and it'll make some of the notes higher and some of the notes lower. But that'll give it a more real feel. So boom, we'll just have it like that. So now that we have that down, I'm gonna copy this over by control B. Should copy it all over. So now that we have that strummed, I'm gonna delete the old one. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come in here. So say we have these notes, right? I just laid them down because I heard them in my ear. I didn't have time to adjust the length, right? So now if I want to adjust the length to where these aren't overlapping, select the notes that you need to be changed, right? And do control L, but basically it'll make it to where these notes line up and they don't overlap. So control L is how you do that. You can do it with hi-hats, 808s. You can do it with any of your patterns. Control L will make the note stop and end on each other, so it'll make them line up good. So boom. By the way, when I'm cutting these, if you have a note that looks like this, in order to get it to line up, you can literally cut it. So press C on your keyboard. I see a lot of people, they'll go up here and like click on things that they want to use, which works, you know what I'm saying? But I've been in scenarios where I've been on another producer's setup, right? Their mouse may not be the same as mine, or maybe it's harder to scroll or it's harder to get to somewhere. So instead of looking all slow and trying to go up and click on each individual thing, what you can do on your keyboard is click C, which will open the cut tool. Hold shift when you have the cut tool open, and then left click, and you'll basically be able to cut in a straight line anywhere that you drag it to. So now if I want to delete it, just press the delete button and then click P. That'll open up your pencil, which is the main thing that you use default to lay out your notes and all that. So press P for the pencil and C to cut. Those are like the two most helpful things. Just press C, P real quick. Brush is B, easy one to remember. So if you want to lay out your notes like this quick, you can. So this is my hi-hats right here. Drag your sound in to the channel rack, and then boom, come in here to the hi-hats, and you can right click and do fill two-step. That's like the most basic type of thing you could possibly do, right? It sounds like this. Super easy. The way I used to lay out my clap when I started, like right now I have a template set up. So every time I load up FL, it has a default two-step and a default clap pattern. The thing I was saying earlier about Control L, it'll make all the notes line up and touch each other. So boom. I did not mean it like that, bro. I did not mean it like that. But yeah, you come in here. Control L makes them all touch. Shift D will shorten every note as much as it can to the grid. So whatever grid size you got, if you do Shift D, it's gonna make it go down. And then I'm gonna come over. What you can do is you can go into wherever your clap is. You can boom, you could do this, line it up like that, just copy it over a bunch of times, literally. And then once you copy it over this many times, you can shift left click, you could copy that over, like bro. So say you have this, boom, 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 just like that. And then what you can do is Shift D, your claps are laid out. Say this is it. Say this, our beat's done now, right? We got a two-step, a clap, and a melody, bro. What else do you need? You know what I'm saying? Let's come into here. We could split the channel here, or we could split the channel here. I found it easier to just right click this and split it by channel. So boom, you may be in here and you might have added another, let's say you added an 808, bro. So now after we had already split everything, we added another track. So to split it again, you just, whichever one you added the new track on, you could literally just split it again. And it may say hi-hat again, but it's not your hi-hat, it's your 808. So now that we have this, can click it in one by one like that, right? That's what most people do. If you want to be quick, you want to save yourself some time. How did I make 140 beats this month? I did it by doing this, bro. Say this wasn't selected, right? Boom, shift left click, and then shift left click again. Now look at that, bro. It's like magic. Everything's selected now. And look what you could do, bro. Oh my god, bro. I swear nobody's ever done this before, bro. This is a new secret, bro. This is a new secret, bro. Oh my god. We just figured it out, bro. We just figured it out. That's how people make 1,000 beats a year right there, bro. That's it. That's it right there, bro. Look at that. We just dragged every single track. So say you had like 20 or 30 tracks here. You don't even have to do it one by one, bro. You could literally shift left click and select everything at one time and drag it in, which is crazy, bro. If I would have known that when I started, I would have made like 500 more beats than I normally made. Like, I'm not even lying, bro. So now we have everything dragged out, right? I think I showed you all the shortcuts to do that. Playlist arrangement, all that. Boom. Control B. You can copy it all over. Now let's say you want to delete it. Control left click, drag, boom, delete. Now what I could do here, if I want a specific area copied, right? So say I have this, but I have like a little gap in here, and I might have a gap. Pick a gap there. Sounds good sometimes. So boom. Say I have this, right? Sometimes you can't Control B this, or else it's just gonna be all whack. But it's just gonna look all crazy, and it's not gonna be lined up right, and you're gonna have to reline it up by like boom, boom, boom. Instead of having to reline it up, what you can do, it ends at 17 and this one ends at 25. So boom, we're just gonna look at the end, shift left click, drag this over to the 25, and now we've got the equal spacing that we had before. So look at that, bro. And that's super quick, super easy. Control Z is basically your undo button. So if you accidentally do something, you can undo it right with Control Z. Control Alt Z actually redoes what you undid. So say you undo this and then you want to redo it and then undo it and then redo it. You just mess around with that, bro. Control Alt Z and Control Z are your undo and redo buttons. Let's say we want to export this specific part of the song because we want to do like some type of transition, right? So boom, we get that. Now let's say I want to do a reverse intro, or I want this to be like different or in any way. I can pitch it down even. Boom, I can reverse it too. Now new sauce. sauce, you know? Copy these export settings. I don't know too much of the technical side. Resampling, you just want that on the highest quality, bro, because I don't even know how much of a difference it makes, bro. Just copy these settings, bro. Trust me. This is the best settings. But yeah, so MP3 is right here. Wave is here. OGG and black and mid. Don't do mid because you don't want your beats to be mid. I appreciate y'all for watching this video. If you made it this far,
go ahead and hit that dislike button. Don't subscribe.